4 hospitals were bombed overnight, including one where thousands of displaced Palestinians were known to be sheltering. Israel's military claims Hamas operates a command center at the hospital. The co-captain of a riverboat in Alabama is facing a charge connected to a brawl that received national attention in early August. Videos of the fight at the Montgomery riverfront went viral after a black man, Damian Pickett, was attacked while trying to have a pontoon boat removed from the riverboat space at the dock. Court records show that Pickett was charged with third-degree assault last week. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Comedian Chris Rock sat courtside at the Galen Center last night for the home opener for USC's men's basketball team. The Trojans beat Cal State Bakersfield by 26. Rock and the rest of the crowd saw the star quality of freshman guard Isaiah Collier, the nation's #1 recruit in the class of 2023. Collier led the 2-0 Trojans with 19 points, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 3 rebounds. The Lakers and Clippers are back in action tonight. Both are trying to get their first road win. The Lakers are in Phoenix. The Clippers are in Dallas. The Lakers don't know yet if Anthony Davis will be able to play. Davis has muscle spasms in his left hip. Davis will likely be a game-time decision. 7 p.m. tip-off for the Lakers in Phoenix on ESPN. The Clippers in Dallas tip-off at 5:30 on Bally Sports. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too unsettled. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in to First Things First with the Queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis. First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. This show is called First Things First. My first thing today and every day, giving thanks, giving praises and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and getting it started. Good morning. Happy Friday. Okay, so this is how we do this show. Hour one, we typically do left coast. What's happening on this side of town around where you be at, your neighborhood, your city, your county. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person or persons of interest or a hot topic. And Fridays, we're flipping the script just a little bit. So if you want to do freestyle phones on Fridays, I recommend you do it in the first hour because we have something called Freedman Fridays. We rolled it out 2 weeks ago. 1 week ago. Wow. Yeah, people have been talking about it, so that's a good thing. We rolled it out last 1 week ago. Today, we will do that, and we will be doing that every Friday in the second hour of the show. It is meant to invite all comers in, to be a comprehensive reparations conversation. Let's put it on the table. Let's find out what's going on. You are, in fact, invited in to argue or celebrate or fellowship or build. All of those are welcome. We are keeping the momentum going on reparations. We're making sure you know the players, the talking points in all of the activity around this very, very important historical juncture that we find ourselves at. That being the opportunity to finally get some reparations for the descendants of enslaved persons in this country. Of course, it's a worldwide movement, but Freedman Friday focuses on what's going on in the USA. And of course, how it relates to everything else, but we are focused on reparations. How do we get this across the finish line? You are welcome in every hour. Every hour while I'm on the mic is a good time to call 800-920-1580, whether we have a guest or whether we don't, whether you agree or whether you disagree. Love to have you in. Really robust conversation with Chris Lodgson on Wednesday, even though it wasn't a Freedman Friday. And if you missed it, you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. That's the thing with our shows. They're available for free wherever you get your podcast. So if you missed one and you want to get caught up or you just want to hear it again, find them on our app, which you could get on your phone for free. It's KBLA 1580, KBLA 1580 radio station is an app. And you can listen for free to me, to Tavis, to Ariva. Our shows are available on your phone. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts, or you can check on YouTube, youtube.com. Same thing, KBLA 1580. That's where we're streaming right now. That's where you can see my tribute to Greg G, my Shock G, my Digital Underground representing. Thank you, Money B, for the open to our show. And if you want to be like me and floss your DU, go to dumerch.com. It's really nice stuff. No, I don't get a kickback. I just, love my Bay Area family, and I'm appreciative for the love they've shown to me by giving me an amazing open, produced my brother, Alexander Marlowe. Okay, so believe it or not, it's still sort of a busy day around here. Why do I say believe it or not? I don't know. It's Friday. I'm a little punchy. But we got some folks joining us first thing on First Things First, because there's so much goodness going on in arts and culture here locally in Los Angeles. And I think it's important, especially in tough times. For example, we heard about the Talented 10th this year, directed by Ben Guillory this week, written by Richard Wesley. That's opening Saturday night. I will be there. Should be an amazing, powerful, and politically enlightening show. And we have another great artistic endeavor kicking off this weekend, unveiling this weekend as part of the LA versus Hate Summer of Solidarity. Not just solidarity in labor, but solidarity in neighborhoods, in cultures, ethnicities, and agendas. So here to let us know about that. We have Brittany Price. She's a fine artist and muralist doing what she calls impact visual commentary on current events. Brittany Price, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on. We also have Stacey Hill Williams. She's EVP of the Brotherhood Crusade, a community-based organization making an impact also on in so many different social justice areas. Stacey Hill Williams, good morning.
Hi, good morning to you, Dominique. Good to hear you. Good to be with you this morning. It's a little chilly, but so happy to be here.
And they say we don't have seasons in Los Angeles.
Right?
It's sweatshirt and tank top. Those are our two seasons. We're also
That's it.
We're also joined by a place-based strategist from the Willowbrook Inclusion Network, Reginald Johnson. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. This is a great way to start the day, and happy that you have a song.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start with you, Brittany, because the centerpiece of what we're talking about is a piece of work that you will be unveiling. So talk to me about, this piece and also your intersection, your work at the intersection of art and activism.
Yes. Wow. What a question. This has been such I'm within my 5th year of creating artwork publicly. And this mural has been such a beautiful experience we started off in a community roundtable where we workshopped ideas, including Stacey as well as Reggie, where they're guiding the thought process and the design behind this project. And the overall theme was Sankofa, and really looking towards Willowbrook's history and all of the figures, as well as Paul, digging into the history. I really thought about Velma Grant, and I was really inspired by her story, as well as her collaboration with Paul Williams. And so we wanted to incorporate the idea of restoring the legacy of the original intentions behind Willowbrook. And I'm just really excited to share it with you all.
Yeah, that's interesting. Sankofa, for those not familiar, some people say go back and get it, or looking back to move forward. It's It's a beautiful and important concept. It's kind of like the opposite of Make America Great Again. It doesn't mean go back to go backwards. It means go back to make progress by getting the lessons and the knowledge of our ancestors and ancestral communities. Loving that.
Yeah.
Let's Stacey Hill Williams. Why is the Brotherhood Crusade connected to this mural project, which will be unveiled, as I understand it, this weekend?
Yes, absolutely. The Brotherhood Crusade, as you said, Dominique, we are 55 years young, and we believe that Los Angeles can be a safe, thriving, culturally relevant community that facilitates equitable access to everybody. And being part of LA versus Hate and this initiative and uplifting our ancestry. And as you said with Sankofa, the Sankofa bird's feet are planted forward, but his head is looking back. And it's not to go backwards. It's to uplift our strength and to move forward. And what we do with all of our different organizations and bringing folks together with these anti-hate campaigns is just so critical right now. And to bring our families and our youth into this space and to look at this beautiful creation that was evolved from the workshops that we had. And Brittany created and designed this beautiful image to life is just absolutely incredible. And for Brotherhood Crusade, being that advocate, that shining light in the African-American community, it was just a great fit to be a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, And who knew we'd be at such a moment? Well, it's been such a moment for quite a while, really, since 2020, where this idea of solidarity, unity, and in LA versus hate, like taking on hate, would be more important than ever at this particular moment that we are in right now on the global stage. And here you are in Willowbrook, making this massive statement against hate.
Absolutely.
So I guess we'll start with what is a place-based strategist. Those sound like those, nonprofit word salads. What you, no disrespect, Mr. Johnson, but it reminds me of when I used to be on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and he'd say, "So you go to work and you do what?" Mr. Johnson, you there? Share with us what it is that you actually do and how it fits into this particular scenario.
Great question. I get that question a lot. So,
I bet.
Place-based strategy is actually a strategy of community development and urban planning, right? So we look at the built environment, we look at infrastructure investments, and we use those in our community, things that have already been there and that are being improved, to coordinate and, redistribute those resources so community could have more impact and value from that financial, investment.
And how does that apply here to this this event that, by the way, we'll give you when we come forward the 411 on how you can be there and be part of it and get involved in this celebration. But explain to me your piece of this puzzle.
Okay, so Willowbrook is an unincorporated area of the 2nd District of LA County. So we sit right in between Compton and Watts. And over the last, 4 to 5 years, there's been over $2 billion of investment, health disparities, open green spaces, transportation, prevention and intervention. These type of things have been invested in. And there wasn't a lot of community-driven projects or community-led projects. And so the Willowbrook Inclusion Network literally is, hey, we're the Willowbrook community that want to be included into this larger network that's happening, to have more input and have these things really work better for the people that are stakeholders to the community.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's been one of the, kind of quiet hot topics, right, is what's happening in the Watts Willowbrook area with all of this building that's going on, and people wondering, will we be included at all? Will we be pushed out? And as you mentioned, what is our voice in this? Do we have say so? So it sounds like you're tackling that. And how does? Oh, well, you know what? Let's look at this when we come forward. I mean, I always say this, but of course I do. It's my dad, my father, Amiri Baraka, the late poet and activist, was the founder of the Black arts movement, and sort of the foundation of that is about how art is part of social justice, how art does make change. And it's interesting. We see that going on with what you're doing. We see it with Destination Crenshaw. What do you think the impact of a mural or a community celebration, this kind of thing, what is the impact that you hope to make on the Willowbrook community? And how can we be down? That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, Black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
She's so smooth, so... I'm interrupting my own shower to remind you to treat your skin like the queen she is with Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash, packed with Olay's highest level of vitamin B3 complex. It's so moisturizing that it will give you visibly smoother, head-turning skin in just 14 days. People wondering, how'd she get so smooth? Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Also, try Olay Hyaluronic Body Lotion.
Ugh, I don't have time for a cold.
Honey.
Honey?
You need DayQuil Severe Honey flavor.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honey-licious taste. Because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe Honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honey-licious. Power through your day, medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
We're talking Willowbrook right now. And for those who aren't familiar, LA versus Hate is a countywide anti-hate initiative that's meant to help us build solidarity and help us learn how to take on hate. There's an anti-hate reporting line. There's community-based providers that are all involved in what we've seen, which is, this rise in hate crimes, specifically here in Los Angeles. And as always, the number one victims of that are typically Black people. This particular initiative is part of LA versus Hate, the Summer of Solidarity mural, even though it's fall by now. But let's get the basics. Stacey Hill Williams of the Brotherhood Crusade, the what, when, who, where, why, like how can we be down?
So we look to see everybody this Saturday, tomorrow, at the Willowbrook Senior Citizen Center at 12915 Jarvis Avenue to help us unveil this beautiful, beautiful mural. And as Dominique said, this is the fifth and final mural unveiling with the Summer of Solidarity, but also it's the beginning of United versus Hate Week, which is all organizations in the LA versus Hate Network coming together, having different events all week long. So make sure you go to the LA versus Hate website to check out all the events happening. And I also, Dominique, if I can give a shout out to Terry Via McDowell, she has been instrumental and just a cornerstone of the LA versus Hate anti-hate program. And I got to give a shout out to my amazing president and CEO, Sharice Bremont Weaver.
My friend.
Who holds it down at the Brotherhood. Yes.
I love me some Sharice. Yeah, she does a great job.
Absolutely. And on Friday, which is the last day of United versus Hate Week, Brotherhood Crusade is having a Thanksgiving grab and go at Algin Sutton Park. November 17th from 10 to 1:30, giving out 1,500 turkeys, all the sides, gift cards. So I want all my folks to come out.
Now, I remember that. It's always a great event. Is it still drive-through, like where you for the turkey giveaway? That one you don't walk up to it. You need to drive through, right?
Right. It is a drive-through, and it'll start on Manchester going east to Figueroa. Make that right on Fig, go down to 90th, make that right on 90th to Hoover, and get lined up early and come onto the park and drive through. Also, we will have St. John's mobile unit there giving COVID vaccination shots, flu shots. So just want to come out and help as many of our folks as we can.
And to your point, that United versus Hate Week, and if you want to report a hate crime, like all the stuff we're talking about, laversushate.org is the website. LAVS Hate, HATE .org. So, Brittany, talk to me about that. How can you be an artist and an activist at the same time? Your bio says that you specialize in impactful visual commentary on current events. As a Black woman, like how do you meld those two together?
I have that in my bio because I found out that just me being a Black woman expressing myself is activism in itself. I focus my work on both knowing my history as well as having a center of love. And I found that love has been a source of activism and has been revolutionary. And I feel like, especially for this campaign, the LA versus Hate, what better anecdote than love?
Yeah, it's where we start. I think Stevie Wonder said it, love's in need of love today. Reginald Johnson, what can we expect at this Willowbrook Senior Center unveiling shindig community moment?
I think what you could expect is people being happy about the transformation that's happening in the Willowbrook community. For our organization, what comes out of this and where we connect is that in 2020, we started a community visioning project, and that community visioning project helping the community figure out its own vision, its own goals, and how they want it to look versus how decisions were being made in that community. It came out in the form of an arts and culture master plan that really requested arts and culture activities, specifically visual arts. There's a lot of areas in our community that have people's names, right? Martin Luther King Hospital, George Washington Carver, Magic Johnson Park, but there's no visual pictures or images of none of these people, African American men in our community, and we really wanted to change that to uplift the history and the resources that are being provided to our community right now.
I love that when you reached out to the community, folks said, we want more art, we want more beauty, we want more representation of ourselves in that way. Talk to me about, community impacts, whether it's, upgrading, having a voice in the gentrification or something else that I'm not even tracking here, Stacey Hill Williams. What do you hope the community impact of this project would be?
So the community impact is to inspire people to stand up to hate, to build an understanding on what constitutes hate, how we report it, how do we support each other and stand up in solidarity and call out what's not right, what's not fair, what's not equitable. And by bringing people together in these spaces, and as Reggie said, to uplift and beautify our community and not just say, oh, the colors are pretty, but what does this mean? How do we change the trauma that we experience every day as people in this community, and how do we address and resolve this together so that we are able to move forward and be successful and thrive with each other? And I think with LA versus Hate, being a community-centered program is designed to support everybody, all residents, and to call out injustices where we see them. And I think by doing that, that is the impact that we will have to move forward and honor each other and respect each other and create new history, not forgetting our old history, but making it better for everyone, especially our youth and our African American community.
Well, Stacey Hill Williams, Reginald Johnson, and of course, Brittany Price, thank you so much for letting us know what's going on, and thanks for the great work that you guys are all doing.
Thank you so much, Dominique.
News, traffic, and sports, and then it's time to call me, 800-920-1580. It's the perfect moment. It's wide open for you, and we'll talk about what's going on. It's a lot going on. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In California, Keke Palmer once sold custody of her 8-month-old son after accusing the father of domestic violence. The African-American actress filed a request for a restraining order Thursday against Darius Jackson in Los Angeles, claiming he trespassed into her home, threatened, and physically attacked her. She also outlined several other examples of abuse over the past couple of years. NASA's oldest living astronaut has died. Frank Borman was an Air Force colonel who commanded 2 early NASA missions, including the Apollo 8 mission in 1968, which was the first crewed spacecraft to orbit the moon. In a statement yesterday, NASA said Borman died Tuesday in Montana following a stroke. He was 95. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Comedian Chris Rock sat courtside at the Galen Center last night for the home opener for USC's men's basketball team. The Trojans beat Cal State Bakersfield by 26. Rock and the rest of the crowd saw the star quality of freshman guard Isaiah Collier, the nation's #1 recruit in the class of 2023. Collier led the 2-0 Trojans with 19 points, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 3 rebounds. The Lakers and Clippers are back in action tonight. Both are trying to get their first road win. The Lakers are in Phoenix. The Clippers are in Dallas. The Lakers don't know yet if Anthony Davis will be able to play. Davis has muscle spasms in his left hip. Davis will likely be a game-time decision. 7 p.m. tip-off for the Lakers in Phoenix on ESPN. The Clippers and Dallas tip-off at 5:30 on Bally Sports. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right, yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right, yeah. Breathe happy Febreze, la 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 la.
Hey, nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, and there's even more fries to love. But they're not going to hang around forever, so don't wait. Or you might miss out on these hot, crisp fries covered in all those bold Mexican spices with delicious nacho cheese sauce. Or wait and just settle for flavorless fries. Regular, bland, spiceless, flavorless, flimsy, non-nacho fries. Just an absolute bummer of a fry.
Nacho fries are back. Get them today, only at Taco Bell. And participate in U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
Beloved Entertainment presents Sweet Spot Live with me, Angelique Francis, at the beautiful Miracle Theater at 226 South Market Street in Inglewood on Sunday, November 19th at 6 p.m. Join me with KBLA for short stories told live on stage with us, by us. Yes, our own storytellers straight from the neighborhood. Colorful and provocative live storytelling event celebrating our unique culture, our strength, our courage, our faith, and yes, our fire. We invite you to walk with us through the neighborhood, even run with us down our dark alleys if you dare. Just around the corner, there is laughter, unspeakable pain, secrets never told. But don't worry. The door is unlocked, and we're going to leave the porch light on. That's Sunday, November 19th at the Miracle Theater, 226 Market Street in Inglewood, 6 p.m. Yes, it is all happening right here in the Sweet Spot. Tickets available, sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com, sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com. We got a lot to talk about.
This open enrollment season, LA Care Covered is offering health plans starting at $0 a month. Each plan provides benefits including $0 preventive services, 24/7 telehealth services, around-the-clock nurse advice lines, walk-in minute clinics, and more. Shop and compare premium silver plans with $0 deductibles to help meet your health goals. Ready to shop? Visit us online at lacarecovered.org for a commitment-free instant quote, or speak with us directly at 855-222-4239. LA Care Covered, your affordable path to wellness.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, I do appreciate you. And just by way of follow-up regarding the Willowbrook event and the LA versus hate, if you want to report a hate crime, as much has been made of what's going on as far as, the tension. And again, I get to this thing of why is it okay for we black people to be constantly under attack? That's the default, not worthy of commentary. That said, if you are a victim of a hate crime, no matter what the reason behind it, your sexual orientation, your ethnicity, your religion, how you look, you can call 211. There's a number there where 211 for the county, where you can actually report a hate incident in LA County. And if you want to come to the mural unveiling, which is part of the Summer of Solidarity, the last of 5 events, you can do so. It is actually taking place at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 at the Senior Center at 12915 Jarvis Avenue in Willowbrook. It is free. All are welcome. You definitely can step into that space and celebrate solidarity, celebrate art, get a little uplift and a little love in your life. That's always good. In the last hour of the show, I guess I didn't get to that. We will be having some great guests. Actor Courtney Vance and Dr. Robin L. Smith will be joining me. They have a book out. It's called The Invisible Ache, Black Men Identifying Their Pain and Reclaiming Their Power. Really timely, considering the intense psychic stress that a lot of us are experiencing due to what's happening on the world stage, due to our personal finances, whatever the drag is on ourselves. It seems to be just a lot for folks. And so we'll be addressing that this Friday, this day in our third hour. And of course, Friedman Friday's next hour. So that should be a robust, comprehensive reparations conversation, which you are invited into. If you want to talk about something random, now's the time, 800-920-1580. The LA County Sheriff's Department reeling after 3 current employees and 1 former employee died by suicide within a 24-hour period. Those deaths reported earlier this week. And, of course, they're putting out the message that it's okay to say you're not okay. And, we heard that a lot during the pandemic as a mantra. But it's a hidden epidemic. And what I know from guests that I've had on this show, reading their books, the research preparing for those shows, is that it's particularly touching Black people right now. And this is one area where we have not been the lead. Yes, The most attacked people by hate crimes, Black people. You start talking about high blood pressure, diabetes. But suicide has not been one of those areas. It's been an area where we are less impacted than other communities. Maybe because we're always, fighting for our lives, right? Just for our existence, for respect in the context of this country. But recently, past 2 or 3 years, we've seen it creeping up. Well, more than 2 or 3 years, because this was actually started before the pandemic. So it's got to be about 4 years by now. And particularly young Black people. Children as young as 10. Boys and girls, although the jump has been more prevalent among young Black men. And I say all this not to freak you out, not to make you sad, but because we got to pay attention to that. That means it's not just okay to say you're not okay. It's important to take folks seriously when they tell us that. And it doesn't necessarily mean rushing to fix them. That's one of the reasons why I'm grateful to have Dr. Robin and Courtney Vance on, because they can be more specific about what it is you do when someone in your circle is not okay and how you can handle it for yourself. But what I've learned talking to so many doctors and authors and people suffering from mental health crises is that the most important thing is to listen and offer support. To say, is that so? Wow. Tell me more. Not, well, what's wrong with you? Well, listen, you should do this or you shouldn't do that. But just, I'm sorry. Well, what's going on? Well, how? Just to be that sounding board. And also for us, those of us who are moms and dads, but also uncles, aunties, cousins, brothers, sisters, to pay attention. The old paradigm of suck it up and keep it moving it doesn't work anymore. Man up, woman up, suck it up. Don't be a baby. Be strong, be tough, be a strong Black woman. Be a hard young brother. That person might need some mental health help. They might need a listening ear. They might need a hug. They might need an affirmation. They might need a meal. They might need walk on the beach or whatever that might be that could save a person's life. Suck it up. Keep it moving is not the answer anymore, if it ever was. According to the Sheriff's Department, 9 current or former employees have died by suicide this year to date. And according to ABC 7, studies show that across the country, more officers die from suicide than are killed in the line of duty. That is something I did not know. That's relatively new, I think. This data goes back to 2018. According to the FBI, in 2022, 118 officers died in the line of duty. So far, it says the Sheriff's Department saying these suicides do not appear to be connected to each other as far as what they know. They're saying that it's just random that all 4 of these happen within such a short period. And they are relating it to staffing issues, saying they're short-staffed. I mean, I don't know. I don't see any data here actually connecting those dots, but that's what the department is saying, that they're short-staffed, that they're dealing with trauma every day. I think when we're suffering with a crisis, a mental health crisis, to the point of wanting to take our own lives, it probably goes beyond being short-staffed. I'm just guessing. But it's, it's a terrible, I call it a silent threat, because this is a situation that's growing, in particularly among the Black community, and we're just not talking about it that much. So you don't have to, but I think we do have to do a better job is checking on each other and taking each other's pain and challenges a little bit more seriously, Yeah, that's what I think. And normalizing reaching out for help. Whether it be the, Champions mental health center, which is part of Faithful Central Church, so it might be something, counseling involved with the church, or whether it be, a support group or a trusted friend. Just getting some help, taking it a little bit more seriously. Well, the SAG AFTRA strike is apparently over. Looks like it's over. Of course, the national board has to approve that contract proposal, and then the rank and file, the actors, have to look at it, vote on it. But I would imagine that this particular contract will be ratified and will move forward. What's next? What does it mean? And what do we know so far? We'll look at that when we come forward, and we'll take your phone calls when we continue. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima. This is a place where we're amplifying Black, progressive voices, outsider voices, insider voices, unusual conversation every single day. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
What's up, party people? It's your favorite MC's favorite rapper, MC Light here. And we're celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, authentically powered by Cadillac. And we're going to take it way back to where it started. It was only fitting that hip-hop began with teenagers at a back-to-school jam in the rec room of a South Bronx apartment complex by an 18-year-old brother. By the way, I'm also sure he had a Cadillac parked outside. He noticed the energy on the dance floor when he switched between two turntables, extending the beats, repeating the breaks, and never losing the rhythms. And that was the birth of hip-hop. And from that moment, it took off.
For more on how Cadillac is celebrating hip-hop's 50th, visit Cadillac.com/audacity.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
To some, this might sound like a typical family dog. But at Dog Chow, we know that for a veteran suffering from PTSD, this could be the sound of life-saving therapy.
Thanks, Betty.
That's why we've made it our mission to connect every military hero in need with a canine hero of their own. To learn about the simple ways you can help Dog Chow in our mission, visit dogchow.com/veterans.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Yes, indeed. The SAG-AFTRA strike, I say, appears to be over because, as I mentioned, the National Board has to go over this. They have a Zoom call on Friday today. They ask questions. They kind of go through the contract point by point. If they reject it, it goes back to the negotiating table. I doubt that's going to happen. I seriously doubt it. This has been a long, hard strike. It was 118 days. I thought it was 120. I tacked a couple days on there. And then after that, it will go to the actors. It's like 160,000 of us. We vote on that. That will happen over a period of a couple weeks. And if the actors approve the contract, then that is the actual end of the strike. However, we're free to go back to work now, those that have jobs. That's the problem. A lot of folks do not have jobs. That's the challenge of being an actor, back to auditioning, back to work, if work is available to you, because the strike is over pending approval. Now, if for some reason the actors or the National Board voted no, then we'd be back on the picket lines. We'd be back to negotiations. And that would be startling, though, because the Screen Actors Guild, the actors have never actually rejected a contract before, and this one appears to be way better than past contracts. So production, it takes a minute. You don't, you got to ramp back up. You got to bring in your team, get your scheduling, your script. Everything has to be put together pre-production. So it's not like, oh, yeah, we're just going to go back to work. And it depends on what decisions the studios have made. Even before the strike, there was all this talk about what is the profitability of streaming, and what do these big corporations that own the streamers, like the Netflix and Primes of the world, what do they have to do to turn a profit, right? It's the same conversation we've had with a lot of internet startups, whether it's a Lyft or an Uber or an X. When does it become profitable and not just popular? So that conversation was already happening before the strike. Now you have the Writers Guild. Of course, the directors didn't have to go on strike. They got a deal. And then the actors go on strike. All of these unions standing in solidarity, which is part of what makes the deal possible. But I feel like studios have been saying, oh, we got to cut costs. Now they'll blame everything on the strike. But in reality, it is a natural part of the business, contraction, expansion, especially for these tech companies that aren't even really traditional entertainment industries. They're tech companies. That's what they are. What is, they're streamers. And so they look at their business model a little differently. They're all warning there will be less production, there will be less work. We knew that was going to happen anyway, though, before the strike. So to me, it's even more important that we got a decent deal, because if there's going to be less work, you need to be paid decently for it. And particularly, you need to participate in the profit after that initial production is over and you're back to auditioning. So even though we may hear a different line on this, I think this is one of those talking point moments where the truth of the matter is they were going to contract, strike or no strike, because Wall Street is demanding that profitability, right? And that's the capitalist model. But now at least the contraction will come with decent wages for those who are getting the jobs, and better residuals for those who are landing those spots. So that's good news. And I think it's important for us to hold on to that understanding. Perfect time to call me, like always, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. A lot of celebrating going on in this town right now, though, because this is a big, big moment and definitely a win. What do we know about the win? I'll share when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
And I do absolutely join in the celebration around this historic moment, this deal for SAG-AFTRA. Of course, it's not perfect. We talked about that yesterday, how the actors did not win a percentage of streaming. But there are so many other wins here. The percentage of streaming, of course, you know, the studio said that was a non-starter. And they stood by that. Doesn't mean we won't get it in a future deal. But the new contract is worth more than $1 billion in new wages and benefit plan funding. So that's a huge, huge deal. There's also something we've never had, which is a streaming participation bonus. I think that was the substitute for that equity stake in streaming revenue, a bonus based on those projects that, do better. So it's a start. Okay. It's a kind of participation. It's not a percentage. It's not equity, but it is a start. There's also minimum compensation increases. So what they call the SAG minimum, what you get for a day of work, no matter who you are, you got a day of work, you're a Screen Actors Guild member, SAG-AFTRA member, there's a floor for that. And then, as you make more money going along, they call that your quote. And so each time you work, it's based on what you made last time, and you build from there. But you build from a basement, which is the minimum. So that is super helpful because many actors, the ones that aren't famous, they're going to be working for those SAG minimums most of the time. And then, of course, for the first time ever, this is super historic, and it's something to build from. It means there are going to be rules around artificial intelligence. Some consent rules about when you can and cannot duplicate a person's essence, right? What God gave us, and some compensation guidelines about what you have to give me or Miles, or Courtney Vance if you use artificial intelligence to duplicate us, to artistically clone us. There's also raised caps for pension and health care. That means those actors will be better taken care of. Those that are able to reach the benchmark of retirement under SAG-AFTRA, which, many will not, because you have to work to a certain point for a certain number of years. And then I can't wait to hear about this because they haven't elaborated on it, but apparently there are protections for diversity. Can't wait to see what that looks like when we get the details of this contract. It's a Freedman Friday. Get ready to talk reparations with attorney Nkechi Taifa. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In California, Kiki Palmer won sole custody of her 8-month-old son after accusing the father of domestic violence. The African